name is Sababa Akili. Norman and I met back in the mid-60s. There was an organization in Cleveland called the Huff Area Development Corporation, and it came out of the struggle of black people in the Huff area. Well, they wanted to do something for us, so they hired myself and Norman as technical writers for the Huff Area Development Corporation. Wasn't going to get it. They wanted some proposals. So we left. Formed the Muntu Poets. And the Muntu Poets was a band of brothers. No discrimination against sisters, it's just, I don't understand, and I've been thinking about this recently why no sisters joined us, but we was a band of brothers consisting of Norman Jordan, myself, Amir Rashid, Bill Russell, a couple of other brothers, Muda Wap, and some of the other brothers in Cleveland. And we would meet sometimes twice a week, reading poetry to one another. Russell Atkins, who's a well-known writer, he served as an unofficial critic of the group. And, and you'd have to meet him because he's a real guy. But as we met and began to talk about poetry and write poetry, we saw ourselves at the forefront of the struggle of black liberation in the United States. We wrote poems that actually exposed our enemy, exposed the system of corruption, called for freedom and justice and self-determination and self-defense. We did not just stay in that meeting talking about poetry. We took it into the parks, into bars, on street corners, everywhere that we could take it. And from Cleveland to Pittsburgh, all the way to Jersey, Amiri Baraka, Larry Neal, all of these writers that you will study about in history now. These was artists who had long saw that art was not just for art's sake, but art needed to do something, and it needed to know its audience. So when Norman wrote, the price of milk has gone up again, and the baby is drinking more. Hell, I'm gonna have to give up smoking and blow my chances of catching cancer. I mean, that spoke to something that was happening in America as it related to our people. And then I said, our conversation will be left behind us as we indulge ourselves in talking about things. Because his thing is a different thing than her thing. And their thing is another thing. And my thing is an out of sight thing. But his thing and her thing and your thing and their thing ain't no thing unless it's a black thing that's going to bring some change. So our poetry came alive in an attempt to wake up our people. And Norman, and I just talked to Norman, like, I would always see him in different places. As a matter of fact, Amiri and I was at Clark Atlanta University. Amiri was performing some poetry, and we had just finished talking about, man, where's Norman? We haven't seen Norman in a long time. Looked out in the audience and there was Norman. Sitting in the audience and he was like, man, is that Norman out there? Said, yeah, that's Norman out there. So we left the stage and went out and talked to Norman. Then there's a young brother in Cleveland who was doing some work on one of the poets that used to be in the Muntu Poets named Omar Majid. That's his uncle. So some kind of way, it led him to Norman. And then Norman gave me my number. And then I had Norman's number again. So then we started talking. You know, we always plan, we never think about not being on the planet. Because we make grand plans. We're going to do this, yeah, man, we're going to do this, we're going to do all these things. Because we never, we're eternal optimists. See what I'm saying? We have to be eternal optimists because we are always confronted with something that will take us out of here. So we are eternal optimists. I would like to just end with this poem. Hopefully, it say something to where we came from and where we're going. Some old folks saying times have changed. The times call for new ways to struggle. Some old scared folks trying to teach submission and racism, against racism to a new generation. Young folks responded with civil disobedience and text, OMG, SMH, WTF is wrong with all these scared but Negroes. We want freedom and justice. Black Lives Matter.